What's up guys? So today in this video I'm going to be telling you the differences between the American Doberman and the European Doberman. So if you were like me, you looked up a Doberman Pinscher because you want one. And then you saw that there's American Dobermans and European Dobermans. My goal in this video is to tell you the main differences between the American Doberman, the European Doberman. We're going to talk about their physical traits, their temperament. Now before we get into this, I do want to say, I'm by no means an expert on the Doberman Pinscher. If you guys are looking for a more in-depth video on the breed, I highly recommend to check out the channel Doberman Planet, after you watch this video of course. Doberman Planet is a channel that started 8 months ago, and boy oh boy is it filled with content. Educational content, informative. Maybe those two words mean the same thing? Look, I don't even know anything. So in Germany, there is a man named Karl Friedrich Louis Dobermann. This guy was a tax collector, and he also ran the local dog pound, so he had his connections with dogs. He was the first person to breed a Doberman because he wanted a dog for personal safety. But he did want the dog to be big enough where it was intimidating. He can't be having people run up on him and stealing his monies. You can't do that. You gotta get a Doberman. Karl needed a dog that was smart enough to listen to his commands and just have a dog by his side that was loyal and would protect him. So some physical attributes of the American Doberman: their bone structure is thinner, they have a wedge-shaped head, their neck is usually thinner and longer than the European Doberman. Now I would say the European Dobermans are just in general thick. And when I say thick, I mean thick with 2 C's. Not that they got a big butt, but they tend to be 5 to 10 pounds heavier than the American Doberman. So now that we went over some physical things between the two, let's talk about their temperament. American temperament, how I would describe it very shortly, is LLA. A, like this. Loyal, loving, and alert, which all makes this a very good dog for protection. Now the European temperament is kind of the same, the LLA, but I also want to add another A to the end of that, and that A is assertive. Now, I don't have a European Doberman, but from my research, they just tend to be more assertive compared to the American breed, because like I said earlier, the American breed was kind of bred down. They bred a lot of things out of the original Doberman. Another thing about the breed is that they are people dogs. If this is my space bubble, my Doberman is gonna be like right here. From when he was a puppy and I was taking a poop on the toilet, he sat in my boxers when they were on the ground and just laid there. If you're getting a Doberman, know that they will be all up in your space. Now going over to the European Doberman, they have higher stamina, they tend to have a higher drive, and they require a lot more exercise than an American Doberman. So if you're going for a European Doberman for your first dog, just keep those things in mind. The American Doberman is way more likely to succeed in AKC Confirmation shows, while the European Doberman, they are meant for working events. They might not succeed in AKC Confirmation shows compared to the American breed, but they will work. Alright, so now let's talk about the fur and their colors. Both of them have the color combinations of black and rust, red and rust, blue and rust, and fawn and rust. However, the European Dobermans, their fur tends to be more dark and a deeper color. So the next topic I'm going to be talking about is pretty controversial, so I'm going to try to get straight to the point and be as unbiased as possible. And I'm trying to do that this whole video, but let's get right to it. So in Europe, it's illegal to crop and dock a dog's ears and tail, while in America, it is legal. Now, this topic alone, I think, deserves a video by itself. I highly recommend a more informative video on this topic by Doberman Planet. I think he states it perfectly without being biased at all. So like I said, please go check out that video in the description after this video. It should be the second video link in the description. Let's move on to the pricing of the Doberman. Okay, so the question you have all been waiting for: how much is this dog gonna cost me? If you want to know exactly what kind of dog you're getting, if you go to a breeder who is an established breeder, meaning they're not no fake backyard breeder, they have the pedigree, you can meet the mom, you can see the dad if you want to. So before we get into pricing, I want to say this: if you adopt a dog or rescue a dog or foster a dog, it's going to be cheaper than if you go to a breeder. However, the benefits of going to a breeder, which is also a whole nother video, in short, basically ensures you know what you're getting. Now, if there's anything you have to take from this video, please let it be this. There are 2 types of breeders. There's the good breeders who know exactly what they're doing. You can tell they love the breed and want to just make the breed better, and they're breeding dogs to just be better dogs. The opposite of this are what's known as backyard breeders. Now, of course, no matter what breeder you go to, there's the chance that your dog will have health problems in the future. However, with reputable breeders, you know exactly what you're getting when you get a dog. If you go to a backyard breeder, there's a chance that your dog can die very young from something you had no idea about. And that is devastating, and I don't want anyone to go through that. So please do your research on breeders, just like you're doing research right now on the differences between an American Doberman and a European Doberman. The American Doberman, on average, is going to be $1,000 to $2,500 US. The European Doberman, on average, is going to be starting at $2,500 to $3,500. There are plenty options when it comes to Dobermans. There's plenty Dobermans waiting to be adopted that have been abandoned and just don't understand why their person left them. So please, 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 if you get any dog, make sure you are committed to this dog for the rest of its life. Everything that this dog is gonna know is you, and you want that dog to have the best quality of life possible. And in order to do that, you really need to know what dog you're getting. All right, so we talked about pricing, we talked about options on how to even get one of these dogs, we talked about their physical traits, and we also talked about their temperament. Now, you probably have an idea of which one you're leaning more towards to, but I wanna go over some final things to help you decide, is an American Doberman or a European Doberman better for you? So let's go over some final things. The American Doberman needs to be very close to its family. These dogs read humans like a book. They will know what emotions you have at the moment. They want to be right by your side. They're always going to be watching you. Have you seen the meme where like you leave a room and the dog is like, "You son of a bitch, I'm in"? That's a Doberman, all right? They want to be by you. So if you want a dog that's going to be by your side, the American Doberman might be for you. Also, if you want your dog to, in the future, compete in any AKC Confirmation shows, like the point I stated earlier, the American Doberman is going to be best suited for that. So the European Doberman. This dog is going to have a lot more muscle, more drive. It's going to be very well suited for a family that's very active. If you want a dog that is more suited for guard dog work or any working events in general, you're going to want to lean more towards the European Doberman. But Derek, why did you choose an American Doberman compared to a European Doberman? So the reason why I wanted to go with an American Doberman compared to a European Doberman is because based on my research, in my opinion, just mine, I think that the American Doberman is more suited for an inexperienced dog owner. Now, if you have an American Doberman, I am not saying you are an inexperienced dog owner. I'm just saying I was, all right? I love dogs. I volunteered time at the Humane Society to train dogs so they could get a better home. Still very inexperienced because I never had my own dog. And like I said, in my opinion, I thought the American Doberman was just more suited for me in general. So that's what I wanted. I think the European Doberman is for someone who has lots of experience in dogs in general. Just because Cyber is an American Doberman does not mean he doesn't require exercise. If you guys watch my videos, we go on long bike rides almost every day. The only reason why we haven't been lately was because there's snow outside. Just because there's snow outside doesn't mean I'm not exercising him. It's just extra steps I have to take. And if I had a European Doberman, I would have to take even more steps or take even longer bike rides or whatever it would take to like satisfy that dog's just drive and what he needs. After a 30 to 45 minute bike ride, Cyber is going to be knocked for like 3 to 4 hours, but then he's right back ready to it. And it would just be a little bit more of that if I went with a European Doberman. From my research, I don't have a European Doberman. I have never had one. Maybe if I get one in the future, it'll be easier to train and stuff compared to Cyber, but I don't know unless I put myself in that situation. So if anyone watching this has a European Doberman, please put it in the comments on what your experience has been. Same to you guys who have an American Doberman. I just want to see your guys' thoughts on the comparison of the two. If you guys got anything of value from this video, I would really appreciate a big smashing on the like button. Of course, you don't have to. Just watching up to this point supports my channel, and I appreciate it so much. But don't just support me today by maybe subscribing or liking the video or sharing it to your friends. Maybe commenting down below anything. Don't just support me. Go support the fellow Doberman creators on YouTube. There are lots of them, and everybody has their different opinions, and I think that's okay. So hopefully you guys have a good opinion of this video and enjoyed it. I'm not judging this video's success rate off its likes, views, comments, or how many subscribers I get from this. I think I'm successful if I can convince you guys to lean more towards one side or the other, or at least taught you guys some more information about the breed. Because the first video I made of my Doberman, Meet My Doberman Puppy, people have been commenting on certain videos saying, oh, you inspired me to get a Doberman. So if I can inspire more people from this video was successful as heck. So if you want to help people decide if they should get an American Doberman or a European Doberman, make sure to like and share this video and subscribe today. And I hope you guys enjoyed your time here. I appreciate you guys listening and watching, and hopefully I didn't go on too many tangents. So I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.